So, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah of Horror. I review movies and series, and I'll put up an occasional video of what I do during the day here and there, like go to a sci-fi convention, buy some movies, go to the cinema, yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, maybe you're wondering, why are you wearing a raccoon onesie? And I will tell you, because some of you, know that I play Magic. I play Commander. So the newest Magic the Gathering set was just released, a pre-release weekend, and I've been playing Magic, recording Magic all weekend. So they released Bloomburrow, which is the newest set, and there's a commander there called Bello, and he's a raccoon. And it's clearly is Pedro. Pedro. Yeah, exactly. And I've been recording gameplays for my Magic the Gathering YouTube channel. If you're interested, link below. Watch it. And also, I entered a two-headed giant tournament today. Actually, won 3 games. I'm super happy. Won some boosters. And I got to borrow these raccoon onesie from my friend Rowan. So thank you so much, Rowan. And it is summer. It is super hot. And yeah, I'm sweating. But I thought, why not wear a onesie for this review? But okay, let's get to actually talking about the movies that I have been planning to talk about in this episode. So we have the first one, 976 Evil. It's from 1988. It's directed by Robert Englund, starring Stephen Jeffries, Patrick O'Brien, Jim Messler, Leslie Deanne, and Sandy Dennis. In 976 Evil, we have these cousins, played by Stephen Jeffries and by Patrick O'Brien. So Stephen Jeffries' character is named Hoax, and Patrick's character is named Spike. So they are cousins, and Spike is, the kind of cool guy that is quite popular. He has a really attractive girlfriend. Things seems to be good for him. Hoax, on the other hand, he's quite nerdy. He's an outsider. He's being bullied at his high school, and things aren't looking, that great for him in the moment. So one day, Spike, he stumbles upon this phone service where you can dial 976 evil, and you're actually dialing hell. Yeah, so one day Spike dials this number. He, you can make a deal with the devil at a cost. And he learns about this cost, and he's like, But then Hoax, his cousin, also finds this number. And, things, they take a hellish turn. So I've seen this movie before. I have it in my collection. Eureka released it. And I just rewatched it, and I really wanted to talk about it. I actually found this to be much more entertaining and a bit better than when I first saw it when I was way younger. I kind of appreciate it more, definitely. And I like that it was directed by Robert Englund, and also Stephen Jeffries, one of my favorite actors. From the moment that I saw him in Fright Night when I was 12, I was like, oh, Stephen Jeffries. Yay. I had a little crush on him, definitely. And yeah, I can, recite every one of his lines from Fright Night. So I was so happy to see him in this movie as well. And I do like his performance in this one. He's so good at playing like these nerdy outcast types, and there's just something about him that makes you feel very sympathetic towards his character. And that is really important. I think it brings some depth to this movie and some layers, because I really cared about Hoax. I really did. And I think that he had a really nice kind of connection and relationship with his cousin, even though they kind of disagreed on some things. But his cousin Spike was always there for him, so to speak, and you could tell that Spike cares about Hoax and wants him to do well. But then Hoax starts changing after he calls 976 evil, and that is where, you know, the whole conflict begins and people start dying around them. Some of the kill scenes are quite creative. There's one where they use spiders, and also the ending is quite fun. But the film isn't as memorable as I would have liked it to be. I mean, they could have added a lot more details and a lot more creative things, which would have really made this film just pop and stand out. Because I do wish it was more memorable. Some of the other like 80s horror films in this type of subgenre that came out during this time. I think this one was a bit forgotten. But you know, it was also made and came out during the whole Satanic Panic era. I think a lot of people probably saw this film because of that, because there is some criticism for for that as well, you know, with the hell theme and that, you know, Satan corrupts our young people. So yeah, I imagine that that was an interesting topic during that time. But now it might not seem as serious. But I do like the idea with this calling service that is evil and gives you kind of superpowers in return for your soul and other things. So there's always a price. Yeah, remember that if something seems to be too good to be true, it probably is. But I do like the cinematography. I do like the, you know, 80s vibe, 80s feel. I just love horror movies from the 80s. There's just something about them. They are instantly cozy. Like oof. Yeah, I just want to, you know, have a blanket over me, something nice to drink, sit down on a sofa, or laying comfortably in bed and watch 80s movies. That perfect. That is how I feel when I see an 80s film. This is definitely a fun film, and don't take it like too seriously. But as I said, amongst other horror films from the 80s, it just isn't unique or stands out enough, in my opinion. Still, the performances are good. The kills are fun. The idea, as I said, I really like it. I do like the script. And I think Robert Englund did a fine directing job with this one. And I'm so glad they picked Stephen Jeffries. Super happy. So, what will 976 Evil get from me? I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, so 7 out of 10. It's a strong 7. Like, it's just edging on the 8. Yes. Might get there if I rewatch it again. Maybe. Right, let's move on to review number 2. Review number 2 is a very recent film. I'm talking about The Watchers. It's from 2024. It's directed by Ishana Shyamalan. It's starring Dakota Fanning, Georgia Campbell, Olwen Fouer, and Oliver Finnegan. So in this one, Dakota Fanning's character is named Mina, and she is a young artist. And like one evening, she kind of gets lost in this forest. Yes. And then she finds this weird place this weird door that she can go through. And it's a room, and she gets stuck there. She's now stranded there with 3 strangers. And there are things that stalk them during the night outside. So they have to stay there, basically. And yeah, so that is it. You know, this is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter who is directing. So I was like, okay, you know, Dakota Fanning is good. I like her. I like some of Shyamalan's movies, you know, what he's known for, good twists. So I was like, maybe his daughter, you know, I want to see what she brings to the horror table. And I have to say that, I mean, this movie isn't the best. Not the worst, certainly, but I think I had hoped for a little more, or I don't know, something else. I wasn't entirely like convinced. But Dakota Fanning is good in this one. I think she played her character really well, and just from the very get-go, I cared for her. I wanted to know her situation a bit more, and I was into the story. And I was like, okay, but I think the story kind of dragged on a lot before something exciting or something more meaningful like started happening. So I kind of lost interest up until then, after a few scenes. Uh, but yeah, I have to say, once like Dakota's character gets to the forest and we get to know these other people that are stuck with her, and one of them is actually the one who played Sally in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. So I really liked her. I have to say, she's the one that shines the most in this film. She was really good. I really like her expressions, and yeah, she's a very good actress. So I was happy to see her in this one. She definitely takes the lead, and she just grabs my attention right away, even when Dakota Fanning's there. And I do like the scenes they're in together. I think they have good like acting chemistry together, and they work really well together. But yeah, I have to say, after a certain point, the story got more exciting. I was like, okay, now it's exciting again. Can't wait for the reveal, big twist that I was waiting for. I'm like, it's probably gonna be amazing. And then when we get there, I don't know, I wasn't that. I I thought it would be something more like, whoa, is that what it was? That's crazy. But I didn't really feel like I got that moment. I mean, it was still okay. It was still, pretty decent. But I was just, I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe the, a Saw twist level or something. I just want something really insane. Especially since, it's she's from the Shyamalan family. She's supposed to be twisted. I do like the setting in the forest. And when we see some of these creatures, like we can hint at the creatures. I do like those scenes when it is kind of calm, but it is a nervous calmness. We know something is going on, but we don't really know what. But you can just feel it in the air surrounding everyone. As I said, there was like huge portions of the film that really just lost me at some points. Then kind of picked up again, and then it kind of lost me again, unfortunately. So yeah, I felt I was a bit let down, but I also find this movie kind of decent enough because of some of the strong points that I've been mentioning. But as I said, I just expected more from this type of film. Which grade would this one get from me? I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. So a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's still a decent film, and maybe I need to watch it again, but I'm not really feeling like a rewatch is in the immediate future for me. But yeah, it's decent enough. But hey, let's move on to the last review in this episode. Oh, the last review is a film called Dark Windows. It's from 2023, directed by Alex Herron, starring Rory Alexander, Vanessa Borg, Anna Bullard, Anya Hamilton, and Morten Holst. This one we have 3 young people, and they are unfortunately grieving for their friend that died. And to take just their mind off of this horrible thing that happened, they go on a getaway in a house. They take a little weekend trip to relax and have some fun again. But unfortunately, they are being terrorized by this masked killer that is trying to ruin the mood. Mood killer. So the story is quite simple enough, but I was intrigued enough to watch this. It was on Netflix. I was like, oh, I have missed this. Okay, gonna watch it. And yeah, it is kind of your typical like thriller horror film, but I honestly thought it would be it. Because I was like, okay, it feels like a home invasion vibe, but I was missing a lot of the home invasion vibe in this one. I wanted it to be more. So I have to say, I can jump straight to what I thought about the ending, or the last like 10 minutes. I actually thought that the ending was quite decent. Like the last 10 minutes were very good, in my opinion. But everything before that just wasn't really up to par. It never was really that exciting because I could kind of figure out where the story was gonna go and why the story is why it took that turn, why the characters are the way they are, and it felt a bit typical also, like the characters, their situation, why, like who the killer is. Yeah, it didn't really feel that exciting. I already forgot a lot about it, but those last 10 minutes were super good. I wished I had felt that thrill like throughout the entire film. Yes. But I mean, the start to this film was quite exciting, but then when you learn the whole story, it's not that exciting anymore. Yeah, there were just some elements that were missing. I wish they had been even more creative, gone outside the box and just come up with some different solutions to this, or some more home invasion things, because I'm not, I just there was too little creeping, too little big stuff that happened, and whenever something happened, it felt more like a ghost story, like, oh, did I see something move or not? And like that was the main thing, like, was that a shadow or was that a person? And I just felt that there should have been more bigger stuff that happened, not just those small things. I felt that we were just waiting and waiting and waiting, and I mean, we've seen this story so many times before, so I had wished that it would have been a little bit more unique, stand out a bit, but it really doesn't stand out that much amongst other movies from this subgenre. Yeah, it's pretty weak compared to them. But as I said, the last 10 minutes, especially 2 instances, were really good. And one was a bit surprising. So if you've seen the movie, then I think you know what I mean. But up until then, I don't know, it just wasn't that exciting, unfortunately. So, what will Dark Windows get from me? I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, so a 4 out of 10, unfortunately, but you know, I had fun talking about all of these films in this episode, and I'm really happy that I got to talk about 976 Evil, because I've been wanting to rewatch it and talk about it for a long time, and I'm gonna definitely talk about the sequel when I will rewatch it. And also, I want to talk about my Patreon. Yes, I will be uploading special Patreon reviews. I will also bring back my Scary Things and Spicy Wings episode, but on Patreon, where me and my friend, we will eat hot wings with spicy sauces while talking about anything horror. Yeah, you guys seem to like my episodes that I have on YouTube, but now I will upload that on Patreon, but it will be in a shorter format, but it will be fun. Yeah, and you will of course get to see behind the scenes special short films that I make on my Patreon. And also we have like a horror community discussion there. So yeah, join us and you will be supporting me and my upcoming horror movie project. So, you know, I will be forever grateful. But yeah, if you want to support my Patreon, the link is in the description box below. So thank you so much. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm so happy. So thank you everyone so much. Hope you had an amazing weekend, and I hope you will have an amazing upcoming week. So yeah, see you the next time. Bye.